For years, if Donald Trump needed his image rehabilitated, court case going bad, news cycle turned ugly, an indictment dropping, he turned to an old friend. All he had to do was show up at a UFC event. Crowd would roar, Dana White would stand next to him and call him a champion, cameras would cut to a standing ovation from people who looked like they ate enough supplements to bench press a Volvo. And the coverage would include at least 15 seconds of footage showing a man in a Make America Great Again hat punching the air. And it worked beautifully every time. It helped rehab Trump's image when he needed it the most. Luke Thomas, the best reporter that is covering the intersection of combat sports and politics out there, and I want to make sure he gets full credit for this reporting, has been documenting exactly how this rehab project has worked. The UFC leaned into the Trump relationship deliberately and strategically, and it paid off in access, in brand visibility, and the feeling of being adjacent to power. And now they've got an event on the White House lawn. The UFC, meanwhile, was essentially running a free image rehabilitation service for the leader of the Republican Party. Drop by for a Saturday night, get a ratings pop, and leave before the main event. You can post on Truth Social. Everyone in attendance loves you. It was the most cost-effective PR operation in American political history. But fast forward to now. The war, no one wanted. Gas, too expensive to buy. The economy that working class fight fans were promised that turned out to benefit only billionaires. And suddenly, you start hearing that the UFC wants to be a sport of unity and authenticity. And again, Luke Thomas is reporting that the promotion is actively trying to soften its political image. And they're trying to distance itself from the MAGA brand that it spent years building. Dana White himself, who stood on the convention stage in 2024 and delivered a speech that read like a pay-per-view hype video, is now basically absent from all political conversation. You don't hear Dana White calling Trump a champion right now. You hear Dana White being very, very quiet, which from a man who has never been quiet about anything in his life is its own statement. UFC announcer Joe Rogan endorsed Trump. He gave him 3 hours on his podcast. And now he's posting clips that are critical of the administration's handling of the war, the economy, the general direction of the country, immigration, all of it. Now, of course, don't be fooled. Joe Rogan hasn't fully turned on Trump. But the clips are coming more frequently and they are more pointed. Colby Covington, who built his entire fighting persona around the MAGA brand. He showed up to the White House to take photos like it was prom night, is reportedly trying to step back from his political associations. Sean Strickland, a former UFC champion, accused Trump of betraying blue-collar Americans as inflation keeps climbing. And he backed down from fighting at the White House event. Look, when your most politically devoted fighters are doing the math on whether or not associating with Trump still helps them, when they're looking at it, the math doesn't add up. I mean, look at the White House fight card. That is such a weird sentence, the White House fight card. But ESPN and Yahoo Sports both reported that it feels just like another event. No electricity. It doesn't feel like one of the arena events. It's not going to have crowd energy. It's this made-for-TV setup that is exposing purely how transactional the relationship between Donald Trump and the UFC is. Jake Paul is saying that the UFC is dying under Dana White's leadership. Meanwhile, you've got the DHS Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen. He's an MMA guy, and that connection has produced 0 policy wins for the combat sports community or his DHS so far. The brand trade-off that made Trump more popular with fight fans isn't working out. It's not making gas cheaper. It's not making your groceries cheaper. And now, quietly, everyone seems to be walking away from the MAGA brand. The octagon is sitting empty. And if you have not heard stories like this, that is why independent media like us need your help. The best way to help, it's free. Click the like icon, click the notification bell, click the subscribe button, leave us a comment, and do it for any independent media that is out there telling the truth. We need it more than you know.